you're not invited to Thanksgiving, but we still expect you to pay for the turkey and drinks, my sister texted. I replied, done. I sent 15 large pizzas to their house, all cash on delivery. When the driver demanded $400 at the door, she called me 47 times. I just posted a photo of my luxury steak dinner with the caption, "Best Thanksgiving ever." Let me paint you a picture. It's the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I have just landed at O'Hare after a 9-hour flight from Lisbon, during which a man in 14C asked me for a fresh squeezed orange juice. We were at 37,000 feet. A toddler projectile vomited on my left shoe, and someone, and I say this with the full weight of 14 years in aviation, someone microwaved fish in the galley. The fish had been smuggled on board in someone's carry-on. I don't know how. I don't want to know how. I have transcended the need to understand certain things. I am tired. I am a little bit fragrant. I am carrying my rolling suitcase through Terminal 3 when my phone buzzes. It's my sister, Donna. Now, before I read you the text, let me give you a brief character sketch of Donna, because context is everything. Donna is 34, lives 20 minutes from our parents, has not held a full-time job since 2019. The energy just isn't right for corporate right now, Bert. And has somehow convinced our entire family that she is the nucleus around which all holidays, traditions, and important decisions must orbit. She organizes Thanksgiving every year. She does this by texting everyone else instructions and then claiming credit for the result. Here is what Donna sent me. Hey, Bert. So this year, Thanksgiving is at my place. We decided to keep it small and intimate, so we're not inviting everyone. You're actually not on the list this year. It's just immediate family and close friends. Mom and Dad will be there, obviously, and Kevin. And Kevin's parents, and the Hendersons from next door, and Pastor Mike, and Greta from her book club. And also Greta's daughter who's visiting. But anyway, we'd still love your contribution. Could you Venmo me $200 for the turkey and drinks? I was thinking you could do it tonight, since I need to confirm with the butcher tomorrow morning. Also, do you know if you can get those little airline bottles of wine? Those would be so cute for the table. Love you. I stood in the middle of Terminal 3 and read that text 4 times. Yes, really, no. I am not making this up. Ita for standing completely still for approximately 45 seconds, while a family with a stroller had to navigate around me. Let me break this down for anyone who missed it. I was not invited to Thanksgiving. I was, however, invited to fund Thanksgiving. The guest list for this small and intimate gathering included her husband, her in-laws, the neighbors, the pastor, a woman named Greta from a book club, and Greta's visiting daughter, a person whose last name I do not know and whose face I have never seen, but not me, her brother, the one who has, as we will shortly discuss, been the family's de facto ATM for the better part of the decade. Also, she wanted cute little airline bottles of wine for the table, as decor. AITA for what happened next. Reader, I don't think so. But let me give you the full picture first. Here's the thing about being a flight attendant. Everyone thinks it's glamorous. And look, it has its moments. I've seen sunrises over the Atlantic. I've been upgraded to a hotel suite in Dubai because they overbooked our crew accommodation. I once saw a minor celebrity trying to smuggle a ferret in their jacket, and that story alone has gotten me through 12 Christmases. But it also means irregular hours, no holidays, and, crucially, a somewhat unpredictable schedule. This fact, over the years, became the foundation of my family's entire economic ecosystem. Bert can't come, but Bert can contribute. This was the family philosophy. It was so consistent, I'm surprised nobody embroidered it on a throw pillow. Let me give you a brief financial history of my adult life, which I have reconstructed from my bank statements because I needed something to look at while I made my plan. I call this section Things Bert Has Paid For, in approximate order of increasing insanity. My brother Marcus's car insurance for 2 years, $1,840. Marcus was between things. Marcus has been between things since 2015. I'm not sure what the things are or if they exist. My parents' new washing machine when theirs broke. $680. Fine, parents. I accept this. Donna's bachelorette party in Nashville. $340, which I sent from a layover in Frankfurt. I was not invited to the bachelorette party. I was told it was girls only. Then I saw photos. One of the girls was named Derek. Kevin and Donna's emergency when their basement flooded. $1,200. To be fair, the basement did flood. To be less fair, Kevin had bought a jet ski 3 weeks earlier. My cousin Trisha's fashion business startup costs $500. Trisha has since pivoted to selling crystals. The crystals are fine. I have one. It's on my windowsill. Food, drinks, and incidentals. For the last 4 family Thanksgivings, I did not attend because I was working. An average of $150 to $200 per year. Let's call it $700 across 4 years. One bottle of olive oil. $23. I brought it to my parents' house. It was borrowed and never returned. I know this is small. I have thought about that olive oil more than I have thought about some of my ex-boyfriends. Total, somewhere north of $5,000 over 8 years. Total amount of acknowledgement I received. A Venmo transaction description that said, TX bro, and once, memorably, the best, which Donna sent immediately followed by a second text asking if I could also cover cake. The breaking point, when I am being truly honest with myself, was not the Thanksgiving text. The breaking point was gradual. It was 8 years of being the useful ghost, present enough to fund things, absent enough not to actually matter. It was landing in a new city every few days, living out of a suitcase, missing holidays because of shift schedules, and being told this was fine, actually, because I could just Venmo in. It was being replaced on the Thanksgiving guest list by Greta's daughter, a stranger, and still being expected to pay for the turkey. That was the breaking point. I typed back one word, done. Here's what Donna expected done to mean. That I had Venmo'd $200 and was already searching my galley supplies for cute little airline wine bottles. Here's what done actually meant. I had opened Google on my phone and searched pizza delivery near Donna's house. I know her address. I've never been to her house for a holiday. I know her address because I once mailed her a birthday card like a normal person. The plan came to me fully formed, the way the best plans do. Not slowly and carefully, but all at once, like a gift from the universe, or possibly from 14 years of accumulated resentment, finally finding a productive outlet. 15 large pizzas, cash on delivery. Let me tell you why 15. Because I thought, how many people are at this small and intimate gathering? She listed herself Kevin. Kevin's parents, 2. The Henderson neighbors, probably 2. Pastor Mike, 1. Greta, 1. And Greta's visiting daughter, 1. That's 9 people, generously. 9 people at a Thanksgiving dinner, at a house that does not have a Bert in it. 15 pizzas. Because I wanted there to be an undeniable surplus. I wanted there to be so many pizza boxes that they couldn't be ignored or quietly absorbed. I wanted there to be pizzas that required logistical decisions. I wanted Kevin's parents to be standing in the doorway going, "But we have turkey," while a delivery driver held a tower of cardboard boxes taller than their combined moral authority. Also, and I want to be precise here because precision matters, I selected the most expensive option at every pizza place I could find. We're talking specialty pies, truffle oil situations. 1 pizza with prosciutto and arugula, and a description that used the word artisanal twice. 1 pizza that cost $38 by itself. Total bill, across 3 different delivery services, staggered to arrive in waves, approximately $400. Cash on delivery. This part is important. Cash on delivery, not card. Cash at the door, on delivery. I want you to sit with that. I placed the orders for my hotel room, where I was staying, because I had a turnaround flight the next morning. Then I made a reservation at the steakhouse across the street. I showered. I put on the one nice shirt I keep in my travel bag for exactly these occasions, which are rare, but feel important to dress for. And then I waited. Thanksgiving is a Thursday. I know this. You know this. The pizza drivers also knew this, which meant they were going to want to finish their deliveries and get home, which meant they were going to be very insistent about the cash on delivery part. I was sitting in the steakhouse, having just ordered a ribeye and a glass of something good, when my phone started going. First call, Donna. I let it ring. Second call, Donna. I cut it and put my phone face down. Then, and I want you to appreciate the escalation curve here, the calls started coming faster. I know this because I was watching the screen light up through the glass tabletop. It looked like a very aggressive disco. By the time my steak arrived, I had missed 12 calls from Donna, 6 calls from my mother, 1 call from a number I didn't recognize. Kevin's mom, the pastor, Greta's daughter, who at this point was more embedded in my family than I was. And then, as I was cutting into my ribeye, 4 more from Donna in rapid succession, which I can only describe as panicked. I ate my steak. It was excellent. Medium rare, with a little compound butter that melted into the crust, and a side of roasted vegetables that I ate slowly and deliberately, 1 piece at a time, because I had nowhere to be and no one was going to eat my leftovers. When the calls slowed, this took about 45 minutes. I opened my camera, photographed my plate, the dessert plate by this point, a chocolate lava cake, because I deserved it, and posted it to Instagram with the caption, "Best Thanksgiving ever." Then I turned my phone off and went to sleep. In the morning, I turned it back on. 47 missed calls total. I counted 284 unread texts. 1 voicemail from Donna that I will paraphrase, because some things cannot be repeated verbatim in polite company. It contained the phrase, "You absolute maniac," the phrase, "The delivery guy wouldn't leave," the phrase, "Kevin had to go to an ATM in his pants." I believe she meant pajama pants. But I treasure the ambiguity. And ended with, "I just want you to know this is not okay, and also we have so much pizza." The family group chat, we are called, without irony, the fam, had 89 messages waiting for me when I opened it. I will present the highlights. Donna. Bert sent 15 pizzas to our house, cash on delivery, as some kind of joke, and we had to pay $400 in cash, which Kevin had to get from the ATM in his pajamas. This is insane behavior. Mom. Berter, is this true? Call me. Marcus. I'm laughing so hard. Donna. Marcus, this is not funny. Marcus. No, right, right. So how's the pizza? Kevin. I just want to say, as someone who had to interact with 5 delivery drivers over the course of an hour while trying to host a holiday, this was deeply disrespectful. Mom. Bert, honey, I'm sure you were upset, but this was too much. Donna. He said done when I asked him to contribute. That was confirmation. And then he did this. Technically, she is not wrong. I did say done. She asked if I'd contribute. I said done. I was very done. I contributed 15 pizzas. This is contribution. I maintain this position legally, morally, and gastronomically. Uncle Russ, you bought me school for getting disgust-ale and mostly sends memes about golf. Hey Bert, not sure what's going on, but sounds wild. Call your sister. Marcus. Okay, but did anyone eat the pizza? Donna. We didn't have a choice. Marcus, the turkey was dry. I want you to sit with that last message. The turkey was dry. The turkey, which I was asked to fund at $200 but not invited to eat, was apparently not good. And then 15 pizzas showed up at the door, and they ate the pizzas. I allowed myself 1 small smile. Then I typed my 1 contribution to the group chat. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Glad the pizza arrived warm. Bert. Then I left the group chat. Here's what happened in the weeks after. Donna texted me 3 separate times to say that I owed her an apology. I did not send an apology. I sent, instead, a politely worded note acknowledging that I understood she was upset, outlining that I had been told I was not invited, told to contribute financially anyway, and had chosen to contribute in the way I felt was appropriate. I wished her well. I signed it with my full name, like a letter. She read it and did not respond for 11 days. My mother called me to tell me I had been hurtful. I listened. I said, I know. I was also hurt. There was a long silence. My mother, to her credit, said, I suppose that's fair. We talked for an hour. It was the most honest conversation I've had with my mother in probably 5 years. She admitted she knew Donna had been a bit demanding. I admitted I had let things go on too long without saying anything. We agreed to have lunch. We had lunch. It was fine. She only asked me to cover one thing, her parking, and paid me back immediately, which is new. Marcus, my brother who has been between things since 2015, texted me privately. His message said, and I quote, "Bro, why didn't you tell me sooner you were allowed to just not do this? I've been showing up and hating it this whole time. Can we go to a steakhouse next year instead?" I said yes. Marcus is currently employed. It happened quietly sometime around January. He got a job at a logistics company. He hasn't asked me for money since the pizza incident. I don't know if these things are related. I choose to believe they are. Kevin, Donna's husband, texted me in February. Not to argue, just to say, for what it's worth, the prosciutto pizza was incredible. I'm just saying. I found this deeply funny and replied, I know. I read all the reviews. Kevin and I are not close, but there is now a small and unlikely warmth between us. I think Kevin might also be a little exhausted. I think Kevin might have thought the Pajama Pants ATM run was, in some private corner of his heart, very funny too. As for Donna, she attempted a reconciliation in March. It came in the form of a recipe, my favorite lemon bars, which she texted me unprompted with the note, "Just thinking of you." 3 days later, she texted to ask if I got it. 4 days after that, she asked if I'd tried it. A week later, she sent a follow-up that said, "Hey, so things are a little tight right now, and I was wondering if you'd heard about any travel deals." I told her I'd look into it. I have not looked into it. This past November, I had the actual best Thanksgiving of my adult life. Here's what happened. I was on a layover in Denver. My colleague and genuinely good human, Priya, who has been my favorite coworker for 3 years and who once helped me duct tape a seat back pocket at 30,000 feet without waking the couple asleep beneath it, was also on the same layover. We discovered there was a restaurant near the hotel that was doing a full Thanksgiving menu. Turkey, stuffing, the works, served properly at a table with cloth napkins. We went. We split a bottle of wine. We ate turkey and stuffing and pie. We talked about our actual lives, our actual jobs, our actual hopes, our actual low-grade fatigue with humanity tempered by genuine love for it. Priya told me about her family in Bangalore. I told her about the pizza incident. She laughed so hard she had to put down her fork. Nobody asked me to Venmo anything. Nobody ate my leftovers. I paid for my own meal. Just my own meal, with my own money. The feeling of this, the simplicity of it, is almost impossible to describe to someone who hasn't spent years accidentally subsidizing other people's lives. It felt like taking off shoes that were slightly too tight. You don't realize how uncomfortable they were until they're off. I posted one photo to Instagram. The two of us at the table, glasses raised, ridiculous smiles on our faces. Caption, "Crew Thanksgiving, no drama. 10/10 would recommend." Donna saw it. I know she saw it because she liked it. 17 hours later, with what I can only describe as aggressive restraint. I am a flight attendant. I spend my life in transit, between places, belonging fully to none of them. For a long time, I thought this was why I kept writing checks to people who were planted in one spot. Some kind of penance for moving. Some unconscious purchase of belonging in a family that honestly never quite made room for me anyway. Here is what I know now. Belonging isn't purchased. It's not Venmo'd. It's not 15 cash-on-delivery pizzas, though. And I want to be clear, those pizzas were absolutely worth every cent. Belonging is Priya putting down her fork to laugh. It's Marcus texting, "Can we do the steakhouse thing?" Like it's a standing appointment now. It is. It's my mom paying me back for parking, immediately, without being asked, which sounds like nothing but meant everything. The family group chat has been quiet. I'm still not in it. I haven't been invited back, and I haven't asked. The chat is called The Fam, and it's fine without me in it. I'm fine without being in it. I have a refrigerator in my home base apartment, and in it there is currently half a lemon tart I made on Sunday, the good cheese, leftover pasta from Thursday, a bottle of olive oil I bought to replace the one that was borrowed in 2019. Nobody has touched any of it. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. So, Aita, for sending 15 cash-on-delivery pizzas to a Thanksgiving I wasn't invited to, but was expected to fund. For posting a steak dinner photo during 47 unanswered phone calls. For leaving the family group chat and feeling, for the first time in a decade, genuinely light? I don't think so. But I'll let the comments decide. Bert, former family wallet, current owner of an entire lemon tart. TLDR. Sister uninvited me from Thanksgiving, but asked me to Venmo $200 for the turkey. I said, done. Sent 15 large pizzas cash on delivery to her house instead, ignored 47 calls, ate a ribeye alone in a steakhouse, posted a photo of it, and have been living my actual best life ever since. The turkey, I'm told, was dry. Edit. Thank you for the awards, kind strangers. I've forwarded this post to Marcus. He said, and I quote, prosciutto pizza jump scare. I felt that. He's right. That pizza was art.